Okay, so if you want to print a farmer test summary report or email a summary report, you'll have the following three of the most commonly used reports. Okay, the first one, print test summary report. So this is once you have your passport scanned, you have your test complete, you'll click print test summary report. If you were doing a private test, you would just click this one and it'll filter it just for private tests that were complete, and it will only print a list of animals that were tested. It will not include untested animals. And the end of day one report refers to situations where you scan your passports between day one and day two and you want to print a summary report for a farmer before you arrive on the farm on day two. So this will take account of any animals that weren't tested on day one, and it's specifically for scenarios where you want to give them a report prior to completion of the TB test. Okay, once you click on any of these options here, you will only use these 5 options commonly. Okay, the last one here, animal by blood bottle and vaccine, is a record of any vaccines or blood that may be required. Okay, so we'll pick the 3 most common. First, let's have a print test summary report. Okay, and it'll bring you to this page, and here you can filter by tag number, herd number, farmer name. In this case, I'm going to put in the farmer's name, Angus, and I know I did the test between the 1st of June and the 30th of June, and I click go, and then it will filter for any tests that were done during that period. Okay, so I'm going to put down the 1st of June to the 1st of July. Okay, click go, and then you will see that 16 entries, so there's 16 animals that met that criteria. Okay, and they all have a day 2 TB test at the 30th of June. Okay, once you're happy with your filter, you click export current view, and the data will be exported to an Excel file. The Excel file then can be printed, and it'll contain all the data the farmer requires. There is a summary report at the end, but just from the top, we'll just look at farmer name, day 2 TB test date, day 1 order, and here animals by tag number. All these are sequenced based on the last 4 digits, so 1476 is the lowest number, and the number increases as you go down through the list. Date of birth, result, passport. NC refers to no card. OK would be if the passport has been scanned. OK will appear. Animal class, sex, movement, and clinical marks. Okay. And then when you scroll down underneath this, you'll see a summary report. So you'll see tested animals, untested, newly added, negative, and reactor. You'll see the animal class result. Then you will see any changes. So if you made any changes to the profile, like change in animals, sex, age, breed, they will appear here. These are the animals that were untested. And finally, you will have reactor list with a reactor tag number, and then newly added animals at the bottom. Okay. To print this, you have 2 options. You can select portrait orientation or landscape orientation. If you click landscape orientation, all the columns will automatically appear on the printed sheet. However, if you click on portrait orientation, you have to make sure that you select all the columns on fit all columns on one page. Okay, so you'll see here, fit all columns on one page. Okay, so you make sure you're in portrait orientation, fit all columns on one page, and you will see then all the columns appear across the top. Alternatively, you click it on landscape, and you don't need to scale, so no scaling, and all the animals will appear. However, less tag numbers will appear on one page. So if it's a large herd, your best thing to do is go to portrait and fit all columns on one page. Okay, then you click print. the next option is to do a private test summary report. So when you click private test summary report, this will only filter for animals that were tested privately. In this vet's login, there are only 3 animals that were tested privately, so you can see regardless of putting any filters in, there were only 3 animals, and they were all have a day 2 TB test date of 9th of June. So you do the same process, you click on this and you export current view, and these 3 animals will appear on a Excel sheet which you can print also. The next option is to an end of day 1 report, which is only relevant for if you're printing it between day 1 and day 2. Okay, you can click email test summary report, which is very similar to print test summary report, but there is far greater detail in it. So what you would do, you would filter it based on the farmer's details, and then what you would do is once you should be 16 animals, you will export that, and then what you could do is you could email the Excel file to the farmer. Okay, the last thing I want to show you that will be done on the portal is the scanning passport. So you'll see scan passport here. You click scan passport, you select Angus, you click that, and you will see a whole list of animals appear underneath. Okay, and you will see count 0 of 16. As you scan the passports, the count will increase and the list of animals underneath will decrease. As each animal tag number is scanned, they will disappear from the list. So typically, once this counts at 15 of 16, you should be left with 1 tag number here that hasn't been scanned.